Once upon a time, far beyond the gray skies of Kansas and the winding paths of Munchkinland, there lay a land brimming with enchantment, wonders, and whispers of old magic. It was called Oz, a realm where emerald cities sparkled beneath golden suns, where animals once spoke as humans do, and where the winds carried more than just leaves, they carried legends. This, dear listener, is the story of two extraordinary girls who became legends not by choice, but by fate. Their names? Glinda and Elphaba. One blonde and shining like a star, the other green-skinned and fierce as a forest storm. You may know them as the Good Witch of the South and the Wicked Witch of the West. But stories, like mirrors, don't always show the whole truth. Sometimes, to find the truth, we must travel beyond appearances, into the hearts behind the names. Our tale begins not in a castle or a tower, but at a school. Yes, even in the land of Oz, young witches and wizards must study. The University of Shiz was a grand old place nestled between mountains and meadows, where students studied spells, history, and the ancient arts of magic. It was there that Elphaba, the green girl, arrived, unwanted, uncelebrated, and unprepared for the stares that followed her wherever she went. Born with emerald skin, she was unlike anyone Oz had ever seen. People feared her. They whispered. They turned away. But Elphaba was no monster. She was brilliant, curious, and deeply compassionate, especially when it came to the animals of Oz, who were slowly losing their ability to speak, as laws and magic grew crueler by the day. And then came Glinda. She was everything Elphaba was not: popular, graceful, dazzling in every way. She floated into Shiz on a cloud of admiration, surrounded by perfume, laughter, and perfectly coordinated dresses. The two girls couldn't have been more different. So, of course, they became roommates. At first, it was a disaster. Glinda mocked Elphaba's looks. Elphaba rolled her eyes at Glinda's vanity. They argued over everything: clothes, books, broomsticks. But something strange happened. In the quiet corners of night, in shared classes and unexpected moments, the two began to understand each other. Glinda discovered that Elphaba had a heart like no other, strong, kind, and brave. And Elphaba saw that Glinda's charm wasn't just for show. Underneath her polished smile was a girl unsure of her place, longing to be more than just admired. Their friendship blossomed, wild, fierce, and beautiful. But Oz was not kind to those who challenged its order. The Wizard of Oz, beloved by many, ruled from the Emerald City. But behind the curtain, he was a man driven not by wisdom, but by control. He feared the truth that Elphaba had discovered. The wizard, with help from the cunning Madame Morrible, was behind the silencing of the animals. He twisted magic into chains and used charm as a mask. When Elphaba confronted him, hoping to fix what was broken, he offered her power instead, the kind that comes with lies and titles. But Elphaba refused. She could not betray her heart. And so, she was branded a traitor. A rebel. A witch. The people of Oz, fed lies by the wizard's propaganda, turned against her. Stories spread that she kidnapped children, that she hexed the crops, that she flew on a broomstick at midnight casting wicked spells. Glinda, caught between her loyalty to Elphaba and her desire to do good within the system, stayed in the Emerald City. She rose in popularity, became the Good Witch, and tried to steer the kingdom toward kindness. But the cost was high, the loss of her truest friend. Protecting. The world called her wicked, but the truth was far from it. Years passed. The land of Oz changed, as all lands do. Fiero, the brave prince who had once courted Glinda, now saw the truth as well. He and Elphaba fell in love, not because of rebellion or shared anger, but because in each other, they saw freedom. But love in Oz was dangerous when it defied the crown. Soon, Glinda found herself tangled in politics and expectations. Her teacher, Madame Morrible, urged her to keep the people pacified. Smiles, pageants, parades, all to keep the illusion alive. But inside Glinda's heart, the storm brewed. She missed Elphaba. She missed honesty. and she feared what the wizard would do next. And then, one day, the sky split open. A cyclone swirled down from the clouds, crashing into the land like a drumbeat of destiny. From it stepped a girl, young, wide-eyed, and wearing ruby slippers that shimmered with old magic. Her name was Dorothy, and though she did not know it yet, her arrival would change everything. The wizard saw opportunity. He twisted the story again. He sent Dorothy to destroy Elphaba, claiming she was evil and dangerous. With a pair of silver shoes turned ruby by enchantment, Dorothy was thrust into a war she didn't understand. The people rallied. Flying monkeys, guards, and frightened villagers all turned westward, toward Elphaba's hidden refuge. Torches were lit. Fears were fed. But Glinda had had enough. She remembered who Elphaba truly was, the girl who had once stood up for the voiceless, who had saved her life, who had believed in truth when no one else did. And so, Glinda left the palace and ventured into the wild. The forest was thick and shadowy, alive with the murmurs of magic. There, in a quiet glen lit by fireflies, she found Elphaba. Their reunion was filled with tears and silence. "I thought you hated me," Elphaba said softly. "I never did," Glinda whispered. "I just didn't know how to fight." The two women, one cloaked in gold and one cloaked in green, stood face to face, not as enemies, but as soulbound sisters. They knew their time was short. Elphaba hatched a plan, not to win, but to escape. To disappear from a world that refused to see the truth. With Glinda's help, she faked her own death, a melting, a vanishing. A legend reborn. Dorothy returned, the wizard was exposed, and the people began to see, not all was as it seemed. Glinda remained behind, not as a puppet, but as a leader. She disbanded the wizard's regime. She gave the animals back their voice. She ruled not with spells and speeches, but with wisdom and grace. And Elphaba? Some say she's gone forever. But others, the dreamers, the believers, say she still walks among the wild woods of Oz, watching, waiting, protecting. Perhaps she flew away with Fiero. Perhaps she became one with the wind. Or perhaps she's simply free. What we do know is this: Oz was forever changed by two young witches. Not because they were perfect, but because they were brave. Brave enough to love, to forgive, and to fight for what was right, even when the world called them wicked. So, dear listener, when you hear tales of good witches and wicked ones, remember this story. Remember that appearances can lie. That goodness wears many faces. That true friendship, once formed, can defy fate itself. And that sometimes, the most powerful magic of all, is the courage to be true. And thus, the tale of Glinda and Elphaba, the witches of Oz, comes to an end, or perhaps, like all real stories, it merely pauses, waiting to be discovered again in another time, another way. For in the land of Oz, where truth hides in song and secrets whisper on the wind, legends never truly die. They live on, in stories.